Welcome back. We're here in Las Vegas at the 2016 SALT Conference, where global leaders, titans of business, and superstars of entertainment and sports gather to discuss critical issues for the year ahead.
You know, it's been an amazing and enlightening week. Joining us now to discuss the big takeaways we learned are Fox Business All-Stars, Liz Claman and Charlie Gasparino. Liz, what stood out for you this week?
Well, first of all, the conference is a walking version of All-Stars. It's a Super Bowl of hedge funds. But I have to say that one of the highlights was when Boone Pickens said to me on our air, Donald Trump is a pain in the...
Beep.
Yeah, he said that, but he will absolutely support him because he's looking for change. We also, of course, here at the Bellagio had Jim Murren, who was the CEO of MGM, the parent company. He came out and he said they're actually doing the best they have done since before the financial crisis.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I thought was very interesting.
Liz, you were at the first SALT.
Yeah.
8 years ago. 2009.
8 years ago, yeah.
We actually went over there. It was spotted. How many people were at the first year?
350.
Yeah, and where this has become now, the intersection of everything. This is it to be. And first of all, I'm thrilled that Fox Business is here. I'm thrilled as Anthony is, and we're all part of the family.
We actually have a camera now. Remember, I used to cover it on my cell phone.
I remember
and with Liz.
I didn't even have a cell phone.
What is typically happening?
Even though Charlie's jealous of my tan, I invite him to all the salon dinners where he's breaking all of this news all the time.
Well, I will say this.
It's important for the viewers to know that what typically happens here is the information is absorbed. And it would not be strange in the next several weeks as people talk about their outlook for the sum and the balance of the year. Many of the things that are discussed right here in terms of the financial
industry. People are looking for the ground zero of best ideas
in
business. It has become harder and harder to make money in this world. Whether it's regulation or it's competition, what you've provided here is something that gives people that inside sort of edge, and I think that's crucial.
And here's what
investor pessimism, Charlie?
I did from a lot of people here, and I wanted to say one other thing about the conference. You can't get a better cross section of thought leaders here, and you know we give it back to the viewer, to the average viewer. The average Fox viewer gets an insight into some of the biggest thought leaders in politics and business, and that is rare, because that's how the markets work these days.
What about Boehner's reaction to the whole Trump candidacy? Interviewed by Steve Ratner, saying that Trump can win and laying out a detailed plan as to how he can win. What was your reaction to that?
Well, John Boehner's problem was Donald Trump. That's the sort of irony of that. The reason why John Boehner's not the Speaker of the House right now is because the Republican Party has moved in a very populist way, and he was one of the guys that the average Trump supporter despises. That was the irony of that. I'm not saying John Boehner's a bad guy, but if you talk to the populist wing of the Republican Party, they'll sit there and say, listen, we're sick of the deals, we're sick of the, going along with everything Obama's done. They're screwing the working class Republican average voter, and guess who's on the top of that list? Well, John Boehner's pretty close.
I spoke to him Wednesday night at your event, and I found he seemed extremely relaxed, very comfortable with supporting Donald Trump, and I brought up Ted Cruz, and he said, I'm so amazed that it made such news that I called Ted Cruz Lucifer, because I'd said it about 11 other times. Said suddenly I get to Stanford, and that's what happens. But he had real virulent negativity. Let's call it an acid throw against Ted Cruz.
One thing about Speaker Boehner, I give him a lot of credit for. He is unplugged now, and he's talking very freely.
Although he was contradictory.
And it's very fresh.
And here's where he was contradictory. He said it's very hard because the parties are polarizing. The politics are so polarizing these days, and it's very hard to govern. This is what he said. Well, he's supporting one of the most polarizing guys in the world. Whether you like Donald or not, Donald's extremely polarizing.
He could be the surprising, galvanizing candidate here over the next 3 weeks.
So he's going to go do a 180.
Oh, I think the glacier is already melting on Republicans.
He negotiates. He wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. He will negotiate, possibly.
The segment, though, on entertainment. We've had a lot of we've had a lot of movie stars, a lot of celebrities out here the last many years. Liz and I
including Gary Kaminsky.
No. Liz and I on Wednesday night had the opportunity to spend some time with Will Smith. Now, look, I'm not going to single out Will as just the greatest guy, but what I was amazed, Liz, and I think you were as well, he has a true interest in business. He has a true interest in politics. I think a lot of people don't realize he's a very smart guy.
Yeah, but you know what? He sticks to his principles, and I did ask him about his controversial movie Concussion, where, of course, this is about the NFL and the repeated head injuries, and I said, have you heard from the NFL, a big business organization, about that? And he said, nope, but they pulled my Super Bowl tickets this year. They did not, for the first time in a long time, invite him to the Super Bowl, but he didn't care. Okay, he realized from all of his research. Bad decision.
Yeah, no question.
All of his research that this is an issue. He wouldn't let his kids play football today, is what he told me.
All right, guys, we got to run. Liz and Charlie, thanks for joining us here at the SALT conference.